Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 24 with Dancing in France. Now, today we're doing the Bordeaux region. Now, the Bordeaux region is, you could spend months on it. You know, you could spend, well, France, you could spend months. You could spend months in the Bordeaux alone. Now, the Bordeaux region is probably the most coveted and the most high priced wines in the world come out of the Bordeaux region. And vineyards, certain years are pinnacle to what prices are and what they bring. And that's why if you watch your vintages and you watch your years, the good years, if a Bordeaux's good, it's going to be good pretty much, you're going to be buying it inexpensive because only 3% of all the wines produced in the Bordeaux region, and they have 6,000 growers, only 3% are top flights. Now, the 5 categories of top flights, there's the number one, which is Premier. That's 3%, okay? That's Margaux, Lafite, Aubryon, Pomerol, all the top guns, okay? And then we have second growth, which is, I think there's 11 second growths, third growth 7, 14 and third, and 17 and fifth growths, okay? And those wines, and over maybe a 100-year period, there's only been, once or twice where the original 5 are all the original 5 top growths, but the second and third tiers, one jumps up or jumps down. You really don't see much of it, okay? So they're set in the same areas, and it's the left bank and the right bank, and the river going through it. Now, you have the east bank, the left bank is more of, the left bank is going to have a lower terrain. It's going to be more gravel, sandy, and the right bank is going to be more of a clay, okay? And they plant 5 grapes in the Bordeaux region. The 5 grapes, the 2 primary grapes, and the number 1 grape, the largest produced, is a Merlot. And then right with that is a Cab Franc or Cabernet Sauvignon, and then they use a Malbec also that we tried in Argentina. And those 2 wines, like the Merlot and the Cab, they use the most. And what they do is, if it's a rainy season, they substitute more Cab than they will the Merlot, because the Merlot grape doesn't stand up well when it's heavy rains. But with this region is pretty much Atlantic Ocean breezes. Believe it or not, Atlantic Ocean breezes come through. The temperature runs from 77 to 86 degrees. Okay, and so, which we've been saying all along, every course, it's the land, the weather, and the French here. They've been doing it since the monks, So, the last couple hundred years, more than that, 300-400 years. They started 6th century, but really, really getting sharp at it. They've been finding the game, tweaking the game for years, and they're very, very good at it. Now, today was an interesting thing. I looked up at Christie's because I had a number of Bordeaux. One time I bought maybe 60 cases of 82 Bordeaux, which is considered the best. 61 was a great year. They didn't have another good year till 82. Remember we said they jumped. That's why when you see a good year, if you can buy a vineyard, you can buy a 5th growth, or you can buy just a regular that's like this says Margaux, this says Bordeaux on it. It's not from a Regency. This is an 82 Bordeaux. Now, this is a 2017 Bordeaux. This is an 82 Bordeaux that I have. Okay, then this is a Pierre Lachine. Now, this is a 4th growth. This bottle only sells for about $100, right? Now, you see the neck? You see how the wine's right up to the neck? Because it's very good. It was in a good storage. It's a good wine. And that's why the bottle's laid like this, because the water runs to the cork and keeps the cork tight and dry. Okay? And that's why I say you pull the cork and you want to smell the cork. That's why you pull the cork. This cork you want to smell, 82. It's 2017. You can put it on a fish hook so you don't get your stab. You don't need to smell the cork. Now, this wine here, this rates an 88. This rates an 88. This is 120 because it's 82. This is $8 to $12. This is going to drink a lot tighter, a lot more definition, a lot more character. You're not going to want to eat it with a lot of gamey food. You're going to want to eat it, but this you're going to want it. The 82, you're going to really want to savor it. This is going to be, when we drink it, I'll see, but I would think it would be, a, rich, big bouquet working all over, Now, Christie's had this auction today, which is very interesting because and Christie's is pretty sharp. You get a lot of high-end restaurants that would be in buying, but I wouldn't think they'd be in buying at this sale. This sale ended today. It ended on April 7th. It started a week ago. Now, they probably did $4 million worth of wines at this auction over a period. But they did a 2008 Lafite Rothschild. Well, that's number one premium, right? That went for, estimate was $1,500 to $2,400. Went for $1,700. They all fell pretty much mid-range. The Chateau Latour was $3,200 to $4,000. It went for $3,800. Now, the Chateau Margaux was $1,500 to $2,400. It went over the full side at $26,000. I was surprised it was that. I thought that wine was priced correctly. But, they also grade the wines. They'll say short in the shoulders. They can tell by looking at a wine. I've traded wines with them on the auction. They'll look at the wine. They'll say, okay, the wine's, especially if you sold wines with them before, they're looking, they know you care for your wines. They can tell your wines, the neck of the wine, the cork on the wine. So then you had an 82 Bordeaux, Du Cru Beau Caillou, which is a third growth. And that went for $2,600, which is mind-boggling. Because in 85, you could buy a case of Du Cru for $300. Now you're getting $50,000 for a case. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Now, you had an 82 Lafite, which I thought was reasonable. Only bought $3,500. When I say reasonable, I mean it must not have had a good write-up. I didn't see the write-up, but that wine should have bought $4,500. Maybe it's because of the market conditions. Now, if you only 3% are considered top wines, but 80% or more, maybe 80, I'd almost say 85% of Bordeaux wines sell between $10 and $25. And so it makes it, if you get to know, and if you see, like, this is going to have the Margaux, the Chateau Margaux. It's going to have that. This is just going to say Bordeaux, okay? This is going to be a Grand Cru. Now, if this was Lafite, it'd be Grand Cru, not Grand Cru. It'd be, Premier Cru. Then it would have the label. Then it would have the thing. And this also have this. You see the shipper? They do that on the higher end wines, on the Crus and the Grand Crus and any fifth growth, because they want to regulate where it came from, who had it. That's a numbered bottle, So that's the difference. But you can get a good Margaux or a Bordeaux, not a Margaux, Bordeaux, but you can get a decent Margaux even up a couple bucks, But you're not going to get a Premier Cru Margaux, for just unless it's a North Vineyard. And a North Vineyard, you're better off going with a good year. Get a good year, and get a regular wine than get an off year with a good vineyard. Because whatever God gave us with the grapes and the sun and the weather, you can't buy that. Okay, so it is what it is. Now, if we pour this. This is 2007. Now, I was thinking, we saw about this 1 ounce pour, but I was thinking, because the home tutors, you're sitting there working with the kids, whether it be the father, the mother, whoever's working, the grandmother, who's ever there, you're working with them, and you want to go relax at the end of the day. Maybe you should, whoever's not tutoring, get the 1 ounce. Who's ever tutoring, if they want to take 2 ounces and go sit on the couch for 5 minutes, I think that's totally okay by me. Now, this is the red. They also make white Bordeaux, but 85% of Bordeaux are red. And the white Bordeaux, a lot of them, and they do the Sauternes in the same region. And the Sauternes, you're like Chateau d'Yquem, you pay a lot for a good Sauterne. I mean, you can get Sauterne for $20, and you can get Sauterne for a half bottle for $150, $200. Chateau d'Yquem, if you ever can have it. If you like sweets, you feel like you hit the triplet aqueduct. I mean, it's beautiful. Sweet, big, very, very good. It's like you don't need dessert. The wine's the dessert. Now, we got a lot of black currant here. You get right over it, brings right up, okay? No must in this. See, it must have been a dry year. You'll get musty sometimes. If it's a rainy year and they got to work the grape, they can't get it right. But this is nice and even. This is very nice, very even. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, you want to do the swirl. If we got the 20-second swirl, I gotta put something up to remind me of it. Now, they pick their grapes in the Bordeaux region. Pick them around September, 10 to 20 days. They go in wood for, barrel them up for 12 to 24 months, and six months in the bottle. Now, this Bordeaux I had, see, this has got to be, they got to be cold farmed. This has got to be hand farmed and no irrigation. That's why it falls. You see, it falls under the AOC. See, if it falls under the AOC, it's not a set vineyard type of grape, but it's a Bordeaux grape. It means it's a blended grape. It means it's farmed, no irrigation, and otherwise it becomes a table wine. Okay, and table wines, the French are very sharp and tough about it. If it's not done that way, it just becomes a table wine. Now this wine's a very nice wine. What you do, what you'd have with this, a little too much there. What you'd have with this is a goat cheese, sharp cheddar, a soft cheese, a brie, pretzels. This is good for an afternoon. This is also good for, late day. This is almost like an appetizer fare. Like say you want to have, if you open a bottle, you do this with, and a roast. This would be good. Mostly, a lot of red meats would be excellent with this. I would do a roast with this. I would do lamb, roasted vegetables, your cheeses, your lentil soups, because it's good. It's got enough to cut into it. It's got enough to cut, okay? And it's a rounded wine. It's a it's got like, when you drink French wine, they got a lot of tannins. That's why you get an 82 Bordeaux can last. They can last because they put tannins in the wine. Sometimes the better the wine, the tighter the tannin. The tannin in this wine isn't overpowering. It's like a young wine. And sometimes, the younger they are, saying sometimes the tannins are more. But this wine, when they taste the wine, they'll go, when they drink an 82 Bordeaux, it's got a lot of tannin, they'll say, bang, this is a great wine. This wine can last 20 years, 30 years, and it'll age great in the bottle. With this wine, it's got rounded tannins. They're there. It's a good. It's not going to be drinking this right now. I know it's not going to last. You can lay 10 years down yourself. This ain't laying 20, 30. Okay, and it's got good color. Now that other bottle, we see brown, we get nervous, but we're okay with it. Now listen, everybody enjoy themselves. This was a little long tonight, but Bordeaux, it's a lot to cover. But listen, love you all, and let's continue to pray and hope that we keep getting through this, and hope the news gets better each day. And when we hit the pillow tonight and we sit down at dinner, let's say a little prayer for all those frontline people, support staffs, every one of them. Okay, and remember, stay in the house. Help the whole care system by trying to stay as grounded as you can. Don't be taking unnecessary trips. God bless you and have a great day.